It's the Triple B Double D Heavyweight Podcast. We are broadcasting live once again from our homes, separated from each other, meeting all the expected requirements as far as the local law enforcement and government is concerned. My name is Todd Double D DeFazio. The big guy on the, I guess that would be the right side of the screen. That's Triple B, Bad Bubba Brewer. And super producer Gary DeBar is in the middle. We're talking WrestleMania recap. We're going to get into WrestleMania, but one of the good things from last show to today is we are 100% live on Facebook right now. So we appreciate you guys being patient with us last week. We're just figuring all this new stuff out.
Yeah, Double D comes through again,
as we go. Yeah, I was in our makeshift studio with my son Anthony, and we were getting everything put together. So if you guys want to be a part of the show, 412-407-SHOW is the phone number, and you could call and join right in with us and be a part of the show. You can also text it like a normal text, or you could just comment in the Facebook. If one of you guys are watching the Facebook and can see it, that's awesome, because I can't see it. I can't see the Facebook right now.
I'm afraid to put it on because it might beep or something might actually happen in my tablet like it happened 10 minutes
I'll
ago.
Try to keep an eye on it if I can.
Yeah.
God bless you.
That's my normal duty.
Yeah, that scares. But we're we're all in these makeshift studios and just trying to bring content and keep everything going. Before we get into Mania, let's how was your week, guys? I mean, it was about a week since we talked last.
I feel like this week was long.
A long week.
Long week, yeah.
So
something
for everybody that's listening, you're working from home. Like you don't work. You're not working at all right now. So yeah, well, I mean, you're working, but you're not working out. Like you're not leaving home. You're working.
Yeah. And I'm not much of a homebody. I always seem to be out there doing something at all times. And this has just been crazy for me. But yeah, I'm working from home, and so it's just like I never leave.
Bob and I are still out in the world right now.
I work 30 hours in 24 hours.
Jeez.
I just work all the time and eat soup and eat lettuce. But like I said before we started, I went to Dairy Queen and I ordered one burger. The crazy woman at Dairy Queen gave me two. I had to pay for that, which was $23 was my order. And I got a large Blizzard today. So you know what, ladies and gentlemen, on the Triple B Double D podcast,
it's cheat day.
I'm living it up today.
It's cheat day.
Hey, the most important question here is, what flavor Blizzard did you get?
Well, I usually get two flavored. I get a combo Blizzard, but I decided not to because
what's your combo Blizzard? I do a combo myself. What's your combo Blizzard?
Do you?
Yeah.
My combo Blizzard, Todd, is Oreo and M&M, but I skipped the M&M today and just did Oreo.
See, I do an Oreo. I do an Oreo and Heath combination.
Okay.
That's my.
So I just ate probably 3,500 calories in the Bilo parking lot because I can't. It felt like I went out today, so I ate everything in my car.
The new discovery that I just made is McDonald's has this Penguins meal for $12. It's 2 chicken sandwiches, 2 double cheeseburgers, 20-piece nugget, and a basket of fries for $12.
Wow. How fast did you eat it?
I bought 2 of them and split up through the whole family. So I don't think I could handle that. Those kind of things anymore.
Well, remember we said we were going to have an eating.
Yeah, after the wedding. It has to be after the wedding.
Well, maybe we could do it with that.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Or we can do the hot dog eating contest.
I'm not a big fan of putting wieners in my mouth, but I mean, we could do it.
No, me neither.
Hey, I just want to say hi to Ty Mack, who's watching the Big Mac of Comedy. He was the headliner of the Quarantine Comedy Series, episode 2. What's up, Mr. Ty Mack? How you doing, sir?
We got Scooter on, Scott's on, and I think my buddy Josh Kalash is on. Those are the only Florida 3 right now, but it says there's 9 watching, but I don't know.
Well, one of the things that happened the day of WrestleMania, I was asked to be the guest on a local quarantine podcast, 31 More Days with Brian and Ed. Brian Carruthers, the main host. He is, I don't know, for those that remember the old B94, he was on John Day Bubba Shelley. He was Giant Brian. And he's an associate of mine. We work together, and he asked me to be the wrestling guy. And it kind of like blew up in my face at the end there. I'm trying to put you guys over, and I'm using a quarterback analogy.
Everybody is watching. We have Tom Brady here.
And and on top of it, Brian
6 Super Bowl rings.
Brian calls me out in the middle of putting you guys over. I should have just said like Andy Dalton or something. I should have just made I was trying just to lead in with a quarterback reference at the end of the interview because we were plugging the show, and I was like, Bubba's like the heart and the passion of the show, and Gary's like one of the smartest wrestling minds that I know, and like, I'm like the Tom Brady. I just throw it out there to those guys, and he was like, "Oh, you're Tom Brady, huh?" I was like, "Well."
Yeah, he said you think very highly of yourself, Todd.
So yeah, I should have maybe said like the Bubby Brister or maybe the Andy Dalton. I don't know, but I was just kind of just going for a quarterback reference, and that was it.
Let me just put one thing on notice to you two. I think that's the only time that anybody's ever called me the brains of anything. So I appreciate that, Todd. I appreciate that.
I wouldn't say that.
Yeah, I was trying to put the co-hosts over, and I made myself look like a dick in the process. But it was fun. 31 more days, and it was pretty cool because so I was like their third or fourth guests, and the previous guests before me were Pittsburgh's own sweetheart Sally Wiggin and Rick Seaback from QED. Yeah. So, like, I don't know where it dropped off for them. I don't know if they had a cancellation or what, but, like, that's like that thing on Sesame Street. Like, one of these things don't belong. Like, you say Seaback, Wiggin, DeFazio. Like, hey, what the hell?
Hey, guys, I would party with Sally Wiggin.
Yeah, I would, too.
I would party with her, and I would party hard. I would. Oh, yeah.
I sat by her at Eden Park one time. Didn't say anything. I was scared. But
I would have moved her right in. I would have sat right beside her and probably took one of her fries.
This is the guy that I've seen take a whole hot plate off the buffet at Eden Park, put it right on his table. Fucking plate.
We got to have that. We got to have that contest after the wedding for sure.
For sure.
But we're here for WrestleMania. It's the recap show. We just posted the preview show, so if you want to hear us, our expert insight on where WrestleMania went beforehand, you can listen to that. But we're going live right now on Facebook. 412-407-SHOW is the phone number. WrestleMania recap. Time Mac, if you're listening, feel free to call and chat with us about what you thought about WrestleMania. But let's before we go into the recaps, we have this little side wager on the show, and the side wager is between the three of us on who has basically for the end of the year, we're going to have like some kind of bet, and the loser has to do something, and we haven't come up with it yet, but we're keeping tabs on all the wrestling pay-per-views. The WWE pay-per-view, we really haven't touched anything else. Right, on our picks, just WWE.
That would probably be a little harder.
Yeah. So, Gary had kept score, and he did awesome graphics on our Facebook page. If you're not following our Facebook page, what the fuck is wrong with you? No, I'm just kidding. Please follow us.
No, don't kid
Triple
about
B,
that.
Double D.
No, what the fuck is wrong with you? You should fucking be sharing, and you should be liking, and you should. Hey, independent wrestling promotions, get us the three of us.
Yeah,
people.
we have some people on the. We have some people on the irons right now. We reached out and they responded. So once we get past the coronavirus stuff, you know, you might see us out and about at an independent show. We'll travel. We got some. We'll run an RV and hit the road. Like, you know, we'll take the show on the road. I'm okay with that.
Traveling Wilburys.
Yeah, Todd, we'll hop over to your neighborhood.
Yeah.
We'll go pick Bubba up. And
we're a traveling circus here.
I'm north of you guys. I'd have to come down to you guys.
Or if the show's up your way, we could come. You know, me and Gary can carpool.
Yeah.
You know.
That's true.
Hey, as long as I'm not the bearded lady in the circus. You know.
Your boobs are too small.
So. You're probably right.
I'm definitely not the contortionist. I'll tell you that right now.
So how do we do on our picks, Gary? Super producer Gary DeBar, everybody.
What the hell?
The awesome graphics. Did you see those awesome graphics he made on our Facebook page, Bob?
Bob, awesome. What did you end up with? Like 12-5 or something? Let me look.
Sunday was better for me. I was going in Sunday like undefeated. I was kicking ass and taking name Sunday.
I had my chest puffed out after day one. I was 7-1.
Yeah, Todd, you were killing.
And then I shit the bed on Sunday.
I just never got off the ground. Mine sucked.
I was pissed every time I lost, Todd. Every time I lost, I was pissed, and I just threw more chips in my mouth every time I lost. That's all I do now. I eat chips and drink.
Well, guys, we got a phone call already on the show.
Shit. Okay.
No way.
Anthony.
That's the first one.
Anthony is filling in as producer today because Gary's at his home. As soon as he connects the call, I'll put it in.
Who do you think it is, guys?
Plug it in the headphone jack, Ant.
Oh, maybe it's Vince McMahon.
Caller, you're on the air.
What's happening, fellas?
The Big Mac of comedy, Ty Mac, is on the phone.
Yeah.
What's up, man?
Yeah. How you guys doing, man?
That was our buddy we hung out with at the Stepdad comedy show.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're better now that you called us.
Yeah, okay, tell me anything. Make sure you kiss me when you fuck me, yeah? Hey, listen, guys. I wanted to talk about, do you guys think it was a big drop-off of let's just get to the cash money part, without an audience at WrestleMania, and how long you think Drew will hold the belt?
How about I'll go first. I'll address the crowd thing. For me, it was brutal to watch it with no crowd. And actually, at one point when the women were wrestling, I had to turn the sound off because Lisa said, my fiance Lisa thought the neighbors would think we were watching pornos because of so we had to turn. We had to turn. She's like, "Turn it down, please."
Oh my God.
I don't know, Bob. Do you want to talk about Drew? Answer that question.
Well, with Drew, that broke my heart even more with Drew because the 17-year journey, and that was a WrestleMania that was going to go down in history of something we didn't know what we were going to see, and every match was just something. And that ladies match, guys, was probably one of the best matches on the card because they actually got into their craft very well. And I just feel bad for Drew because the payoff was not good. I'm glad he got the title, but the payoff
he got screwed. He got deprived.
But I hope he takes the title and has a very, very long tenure with it.
He should, though. There shouldn't be any reason.
He's been at it for a long time, and even when he came, I don't know if it's back to WWE, or whatever. He under Dolph, come on, man. They drug that out so long.
They were kind of going with the Diesel Shawn Michaels thing with that when they when they grouped the. Do you guys agree with that? When they grouped Dolph and Drew together.
Yeah.
No, I think there's no reason to take it off him anytime soon. I think they should give him a nice long run.
I just think he should have, even before that belt, he was well deserving of the Intercontinental or whatever, But hey, I thank you guys.
I agree with you.
Love the show, man. Love
hey,
the show.
thanks for
Double
calling,
D,
Time Mac.
Thank you.
My man.
All right, brothers.
Thanks for the support, man.
God bless you.
You can check out Time Mac doing what he does best on the Quarantine Comedy Series. Episode
awesome.
2.
We got our first historic phone call.
6.6 thousand views right now on the Quarantine Comedy Series. Episode 2. Yeah, so it's cracked almost 10,000 views between episode 1 and 2, and there's one more coming out. So possibly tomorrow live.
Nice.
So before we got the call, we were talking about our scores. Great questions, by the way, Timac. Thank you.
I am still. Why can't I find the scores? I sent them in our group.
It was Bubba was 12-5, and I think
5. Yeah, and I think you and I were we were tied 10-6.
Yeah, so Bubba won again. You were coming out almost dead last after day 1, Bub, and then you pulled it off in day 2.
It was brutal. I didn't like that outcome, and I was like, man, I had to do something Sunday. And Sunday, every match I watched that I won, I was like a little kid in the candy store because it was just 2 wrestlers and me because I jump off the couch every time I won.
Yeah. So I don't know. Let's go. Let's grade Saturday and let's grade Sunday, and then we'll do an overall grade. What do you guys think the grade for Saturday, the Saturday WrestleMania was?
Oh man.
I think I gave it a B minus.
You give it a B minus?
I gave it a B minus.
Gary, how about you? WrestleMania Saturday.
I'm looking down through the roster, the 2 days here. I don't know. I'm gonna give it a C plus. I mean, I'll give you guys an explanation when we give the final grade of the whole thing.
Yeah.
Why I'm gonna give it this grade. I'll be honest with you. I mean, no one match really stands out to me for this WrestleMania.
No, you're right.
I'm giving it the grade that I'm going to give it because it's more of a more heartfelt reason. So we'll get to that, but I'm going to say C plus for the first.
I honestly agree with you for Saturday as a C plus. I enjoyed Saturday more out of the 2 days, and I'd probably give.
You were winning. You were 7-1.
You could tell which day I was paying, which show I was paying attention to. But yeah, I would give Saturday a C plus, and I would give Sunday a D. And I'm not giving high grades for either day because I think it was a great Raw and not a good WrestleMania, if that makes any sense. I thought the card was a great Raw or SmackDown, but an awful WrestleMania.
I believe the card was weak.
So Saturday or Sunday grades, Bob, go ahead.
I would say actually Sundays was a C minus. The only thing that I liked was the last match and the Charlotte match, because
which one was the last match? Was it
that? Well, it was
the Strowman.
It was Drew.
Oh, Drew, yeah. Okay, Lesnar or Strowman was on Saturday, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that Edge. I mean, I'm glad that when I took Edge, but that was just a little too much, and
that match was too long.
Yeah, it was too long.
Too long. I mean, we're getting into this more.
Yeah, we'll break it down.
You're saying a C minus.
I'm saying a C
minus. That Funhouse thing, I was like, what?
Yeah, we're gonna get into that. That was definitely not a wrestling match.
No. I think Todd and
I
Bob,
thought
I'm gonna give it probably C minus too. I'll have to agree with you. So I got a C plus and then a C minus.
Okay. Overall grade, I think maybe a C. For WrestleMania standards, I think it could be better. I could have been a better card. I agree. That the circumstances.
I'm gonna say B minus because the fact that they still continued it, they carried on.
Yeah.
And they gave me some sort of a break from my normal life and some sort of escape for 2 nights. So I'll give them credit for that. and I'll give them a B-.
So I'm going to go overall.
I'm not going to shit on.
Go ahead, Bob.
I'm not going to shit on him because I won't shit on him because you're exactly right, Mav. I'm not going to shit on the product because they did something that nobody's ever done before. There's no sports thing that's ever been done like this ever. So I got to give them. Oh shit! I'm getting all excited. I'll give him a B. B-. I'm holding this thing.
I'm going for an overall C, and because of, I don't think if in spite of the coronavirus and all that, and the quarantines and the shutdowns, I still think that if this was normal circumstances, we would have been like, this is the worst WrestleMania of all time because the card was so bad. And I think that was the card. You know, that
probably wouldn't have seen certain matches though. Like I have a feeling we probably wouldn't have seen
the Black match.
Black and Lashley probably.
I think the Otis match would have happened, but it would have happened in the pre-show maybe. I don't
possibly.
Because there was a building storyline there.
You would have had Roman Reigns, and you would have had the tag team titles defended on a ladder match by all the teams.
Yeah.
So.
Right.
Yeah, but I mean the actual,
to be honest with you,
just
the ladder match wasn't bad. It wasn't a bad match.
No, it wasn't.
I thought that was pretty solid.
The 5-lady gauntlet match blew ass.
So feel free to jump in, join the party, 412-407-SHOW. Get you on the phone with us. Our buddy Ty Mack called in. We just finished discussing the grades, how we graded WrestleMania each day, and overall. We're all pretty close on our grades. I was a little harder, I think, on the show than you guys. But your points are definitely very valid on, the reasons why you gave it such high grades.
You guys are harder on it than me, actually.
Yeah, and I thought you'd be the hardest on it because you were so down on it before in the pre-show stuff that we did.
But it was just, in the way it's been going lately, it was just something to pull through for me. Like I was watching wrestling all weekend, so I mean it got me off of a lot of stuff.
Netflix, man,
so that I do.
I caved and got Netflix during the week, so we've been really just cramming stuff off of Netflix. They just put a kids show called The Main Event on. WWE made it, and it's like if you've ever seen Like Mike, it's like the wrestling version of Like Mike, if that makes any sense. My kids liked it. It was pretty good, I guess. And then I got hooked on the Tiger King, like everyone else.
Went down that rabbit hole. Huh?
I love how he justifies guys being gay. He said if you watch a porn and you like watching the porn with the big penis or the little penis, and if you say the big penis, it makes you gay. Didn't know that.
What?
See, Bob, you haven't watched this yet. You haven't watched this train wreck yet. Have you?
I haven't seen the train wreck yet.
Oh my God! Once you get hooked, you're done.
Okay, hold on.
Glow season 3. I watched that. I got hooked on that.
If you're gay, it's fine.
Yeah,
we're not
I'll make out with you.
Just
no,
out there.
Yeah, no.
I don't go left. Look, people, I don't go left. I don't go right. I am right down the middle. There's no gay. I'm happy. That's it. I'm always happy.
Ty Mack said that if they would have put mannequins in the crowd, he would have gave the C+.
Well, they had that big fan. That was
the big fan.
Right? The big fan.
The one and only fan. So let's go with
how many, let me ask you guys a quick question before we leave. How many people were they allowed in there to film and wrestle and work? How many people they were allotted in the area?
Building capacities are. It's weird because when you go to Walmart, they have the cones and everything set up outside, and then you read the door and it says 485 occupancy. So like 485 people can be in there before they start lining them up outside. It's like, what's the point of this? You should have way less people in there. They should stagger the entrance. And I don't know. Silly.
I thought they were only allowed to have 10, a gathering of 10.
Yeah.
So in that,
I know they're working really
part,
light right now.
So yeah, well, see, the thing of it is, they had the announcers. That's 2. They have a referee. Right. That would make 3. Whoever was in the ring, so
the announcer,
4 or 5. Yeah. So I mean,
what about the 3 camera guys? Like that's 10 there.
So I think they were fine. I heard it was 10, but I don't know.
Even if they had 10, even if they had more than 10, who's going to stop them anyway?
Right.
Oh my God, you had 14. Oh,
well, they tried shutting down AEW.
Right.
But they complied.
Oh, okay.
So, but like we discussed last time, AEW is doing the no crowd thing a lot better than WWE.
For sure. You're right.
It just doesn't feel like an empty arena. They have some of the guys scattered out and hollering and making noise.
Yeah.
Like that's what they're paying Billy Gunn to do right now, I think. But
that's a good gig.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not? But they're doing it a lot better, a hell of a lot better.
So
it was a neat aspect. I was sitting there watching Mania, and I'm hearing them in the ring, and you can tell they had to be careful of what they were saying to each other. But especially in the ladder match, it really stood out when the Usos, Jimmy Uso was trash talking and stuff like that. Like that was really prominent. Where if there was a crowd, you wouldn't hear that stuff as much. So it was a unique take on it. I commend them.
Hopefully it never happens again.
Yeah, I kind of don't either. But,
yeah.
It'll be interesting. I don't know. I don't know if they're going to do another pay-per-view.
No. Do you like they've advertised Money in the Bank already.
Okay, then they're probably going through with it then.
For May.
Yeah.
Well,
do you like
see that they also said in Tampa in 2022 or 23 they're going to come back.
Oh, that's good.
Did you see
that? That's good. They should.
They're Hollywood next year.
Stadium.
Yeah.
Now, do you like the 2-day Mania? You guys like that format?
It breaks it up, and I'm not sitting there for 6 to 8 hours, so that's helpful to me. I don't know. I don't want to sit there.
I think AEW's doing it right with the Saturday pay-per-view. I hate the fact that I got to get up at 3 in the morning on Monday. I would rather watch it on a Saturday night. Have a few beers, watch it with friends, go to the Triple B Bar and Grill, and enjoy the show. You know,
after Corona. but the thing we're missing, guys, is Saturday night. I know it was 2 days, but the NXT takeover would have destroyed everything.
Right, but couldn't they do it a different day? I mean, it's a week-long celebration.
So
they could do NXT Friday.
They can do a Friday, but then what do we do about the Hall of Fame? That kind of sucks.
It could be an afternoon thing on one of the days.
Sunday afternoon.
Or Thursday night. Start everything Thursday night. Thursday, Hall of Fame. Friday, NXT. Saturday and Sunday Mania. I do hope I don't know what you guys think. I do hope they continue that 2-day Mania thing. I kind of like where they were going.
Liked it. Like I said, I like having something to look forward to for 2 days. WrestleMania is always a special time a year for me. So if you extend it to 2 days, that's cool.
Me too.
Yeah.
And I don't got to sit there. I don't got to sit there for.
I definitely was more engaged on the Saturday show though than I was. I don't know what it was for me, but maybe my picks reflect on the Saturday. I don't know. For some reason, I was just more engaged on that Saturday show. For some reason,
it was better. That's why.
Yeah. So let's go. This is the WrestleMania recap show. You want to join in? It's 412-407-SHOW. That's the phone number to call. You'll call right into my son Anthony filling in on producer duties in the studio side.
Thank you
for Gary. You can say hi to him, and then he'll patch you in live on the air with us.
I see a whole bunch of people on Facebook too. So everybody, thanks for jumping on.
Yeah, I'm kind of watching the chat a little bit and making sure. But let's go right into what you guys thought the low point of WrestleMania was for you. We'll start with Gary this time. Gary, what do you think the low point of Mania was?
Oh man, the low point. Let's see.
You got papers on it. Wow.
Well, no, this is from, I wrote down
okay. Okay,
so
you scared me when you had that low point. Looked like a big giant novel.
I'll be honest with you. There wasn't a lot of high spots for me here. I'll be honest with you. I thought personally, well, man, it's easier for me to pick one good one. I just think there was too many across the board that wasn't great.
Do you think they were all mediocre?
Yes. Okay, I'm going to say this. I thought both title matches, Goldberg and Braun Strowman and Lesnar and McIntyre, I thought the matches were too similar because the two champions that they had in there are very limited to what they can do and want to do at this point.
Yeah.
So I thought the weakest matches, to be honest with you, were the two title matches.
Yeah.
They were supposed to be the main events, right? I don't need to see them hit a spear or hit an F5 27 times in the match,
right?
And then do a punch and a kick and then it'd be over. It's too similar. I just think those are the matches that people want to see. They want to see those title matches, and I thought they were garbage. And in that, because Goldberg is who he is and Brock Lesnar is what he wants to be at this point. And Brock Lesnar was and is, I think, still a little bit capable of putting on better matches.
Yeah.
But he just does. He phones it in at this point. So, especially that day when he got in a fight with Vince. So he really wasn't giving his all. So
yeah, I kind of agree with you. I mean, the low point for me definitely was the Goldberg match. On, like you said, I think Lesnar still has some time in front of him, has a few matches in front of him, maybe a year or two. But Goldberg's done. He should never step in the ring again. He tarnished everything that he did to this point. And he kind of like just fell into it, luckily, with how they were kind of like making him like a Stone Cold Steve Austin shoot. And then the fans loved him and he built this legacy. And then now it's like, man, you can't even get Bray Wyatt up for the jackhammer. Like, you have no business being there, let alone the champion in the main event at WrestleMania. Like, that was probably the low point. And there was, I think both Strowman and McIntyre, not only were they screwed for the WrestleMania moment because there was no crowd, they're also screwed because they had shit matches. And, so I'm 100% agreeing with Gary on this one. What do you think, Bub?
Well, I agree.
For your low point.
Well, the low point to me was that studded 5 challenge ladies match. That was terrible. But just Goldberg and Strowman. Strowman is 3 years past his mystique. And they just gave it to him. So really, to me, it seems like Strowman got a handout, instead of actually working for him. They just threw him in there and like, look, you got to take it off Goldberg because Goldberg is not what he used to be. And then Brock is always going to be.
I have a feeling Gilbert would have put on a better WrestleMania main event than Goldberg.
Yeah, probably.
He's still out there. I've watched some of his matches. He's not bad.
But Drew is out of all of them, and out of both champions right now, Drew is better and will have it and can work a better match. And I would like to see those two go against each other when the coronavirus is done and we can go into arenas again and see who truly is the top big man in the company. And I'm going to go with Drew, even though I like Braun Strowman as a strong man, but he just doesn't have it what Drew has it. But it was the 5 challenger ladies match and the 2 title matches, like you guys said. It could have been a little better, and a little bit of that fun. I didn't know what that. I had no clue.
We'll get into that.
Whoever was
we'll put that in a separate entity all by itself. My only criticism of that women's match, what was it, a 5-person match or whatever?
The 5 haircut challenge match.
It was a 5-way.
Is it Bayley retained? Like, why are they not putting the belt on? They did all they completely transformed Lacey and her character. And, she's the fan favorite. She's the sweetheart of the show, and it's kind of died down in the last month or so, maybe because of all the quarantine and the coronavirus stuff. But they built her up to be this next big star, and then they fizzled it out. Like, she should have had the belt 2 pay-per-views ago. That is my only critique of that. Like, if you're going to do that match, at least put it on her. And
so
let her carry that.
Here. Just 2 thoughts here real quick. Braun Strowman, to me, and you guys, this is just an opinion, I think he's one of those guys that I could care less to ever see win the world title. And if they are going to give it to him, yeah, you're right. It should have been 2 years ago.
Yeah, I agree, because he's not the same guy that he was.
Yeah, and then about the ladies match, I think it's almost, their thinking is maybe it's too obvious to give it to Lacey Evans right now because everybody wants her to have it. So the more they hold off, the better the payoff's going to be.
Yeah, I agree.
And to be honest with you, I'd rather see Lacey Evans win it in front of an Apache crowd than in a dead arena.
Well, hopefully, Matt, we never have to see any more of this ever again where titles are getting won and defended with nobody, because actually what we haven't talked about yet, and I actually picked her to win, and was all a year ago was all Becky. But now I'm not all Becky.
Right.
And that match, I was surprised. I know I picked her, but I was definitely surprised. And I just went against the grain against you guys, just to try to get
for you, because I never would imagined. I just really think they lost some momentum with Shayna.
Yeah, I think when they did the neck bite thing, I think that really ruined what they were trying to build with her. It just kind of...
I just think, like I said, it's one of those classic cases that when they come up from NXT, they don't know what the hell to do with them.
Yeah.
Well, that's ridiculous, though. To me, that's ridiculous because those people are doing the same stuff down there, and you're telling me they can't... I don't know what they do from going there to up, and they lose it in the drive up. I don't know.
So let me tell you, it's not them that lose.
The creative team. It's different teams.
Well, I know.
And they actually let them work down there. They actually let them hone their craft, and they get to go for more than 10 minutes.
They learn how to do it the right way, the old school way, and then they move up, and then it's like you got people scripting out your promos.
And there's less people in a locker room, so they have more time to do that. Even though it's a 2-hour show, they have time to work, and not everybody's jockeying for positioning. Where up on Raw and SmackDown, there's too many guys. They're just trying to get as many people on as possible.
Right.
And it's just, you lose that disconnect.
Well, we were talking about, the NXT transition to the main roster.
Because
what do you think about Belair making the jump to Raw?
She's going to get lost. They already stuck her with the Street Profits.
Yeah.
And
do you think that was a good move or a bad move putting her with them?
To me, it's a bad move even moving her up at this point.
I would have left her down there.
Yeah.
I think she should be the one to take the
She should be the one, fight. I agree. I agree 100%.
So let's get into, just real quick, Charlotte and Rhea, if you don't mind, since we mentioned it. Okay. So I thought that, to me, was probably the best match of the night. I thought they told a good story in the ring, and but the problem is I didn't really agree with the outcome, even despite, because I felt that it did nothing for Charlotte, it did nothing for Rhea, even though Charlotte got the title, it did nothing for her because
it's going to bring more eyes to NXT in the short term. It's going to lose its lust. It's going to lose its shine.
Her visa expired.
Yeah, so after the fact,
visa expired.
But I still think they would have went that. I think they still would have looked Charlotte's way. Something's just telling me that. I don't know. Maybe not. But really, it does nothing for Charlotte to win that title at this point.
Maybe Charlotte carries it until Ripley comes back on her visa.
I don't know. I mean, with all this quarantine stuff, is she going to be able to come back?
Yeah, I'm surprised they sent her out of the country. I'm surprised that she wasn't just stuck here.
Yep.
But I agree with you. That was definitely, for me, that was probably the most best the best worked match of the night for sure. It was the one that stole the show, I guess.
Charlotte's one of those people at this point that if she loses at WrestleMania, it's no big deal. It's not going to tarnish her at all.
She's at that level, like we talked about this last show. She's at that level of her dad, where she doesn't have to win
all the time.
Yeah,
Rick did it all the time.
She's 4 stars, gentlemen. She is the number 1 ladies wrestler in the world, and I don't care. She's that good.
I agree. I just don't see her having that title. It makes a difference for her or anybody really. I think it killed Rhea, and if they did it because of the visa, okay, whatever. But
I was very shocked that Belair didn't intervene in that match. But they inserted her in the show in the Street Profits match. That was the wrong match. I thought she needed to be involved in that Flair Ripley match. Like you said, it hurt Ripley to lose. The outcome for Charlotte didn't matter either way. It just, I don't know. I think the outcome was probably my biggest critique of that match. But I thought, like you said, overall it was a great match. It was a great wrestling match.
And Shayna and Becky worked hard too. That match was pretty damn good. That was a solid match.
It's just, I don't know. Shayna lost her, whatever mystique they were building with her. And I mean, it's just not, she's not doing it for me. She's not the one that's going to take it from Becky, even though I thought, maybe she would have been.
Becky's not that good. I mean, when she started strolling in with that friggin' Mack truck like he was Optimus Prime,
right?
I'm like,
I wish they would stop trying to put her like the female Stone Cold. That's where that truck thing came from, and I just wish they would stop trying to put her in that position. Just let her character develop on its own like it did. But we got on the Facebook, Ty Max still hanging in there with us. We appreciate it. He asked, let me look at the phone real fast.
We got a lot of people on there as I'm looking too. So thanks everybody that's jumped on the Triple B Double D Facebook stuff, watching it. So I do appreciate it. You know Absolutely. What I mean? So
thank you guys.
How you doing? Abraham Klein just tuned in. He's host of another podcast on the network called Yinzer Club.
How you doing, Abraham?
But Ty Max said, "Are you concerned for the wrestlers' physical contact in the coronavirus? What do you guys think?" This is awesome that we're getting questions.
From my understanding, they get tested. They get
they get tested more than me.
At least that's what they're telling us. They get tested when they enter and when they leave.
But my thing is, we talked about this last show. It looked like it was going to be a good point to pump the brakes, let them take a break until all this is over. WrestleMania was a great.
Then they drew high ratings for WrestleMania, and he's not going to stop.
Yeah, he's not going to stop until they make him stop.
WrestleMania ever.
Yeah. Well, Vince is not going to stop now because of what happened today in the XFL. You know what I mean? Like he's not.
They shut the XFL.
It's back into all wrestling.
Shut the XFL down indefinitely. Is the way I understand.
See, I missed that. I was at work all day, so. I didn't know that.
That was a blow. That's a blow. I mean, he put $500 million in the XFL.
Right.
Took half his stocks from the WWE. So now, since he's not doing that, you don't think. And Triple H was probably doing whatever, and like the old man is going to be there, like, "Hey, Triple H, now I'm 100% back into it, and this is how it's going to be." And God only knows what he's going to do.
So right now we're talking.
They already demoted Triple H, though.
Yeah, Michael Cole I've seen got a promotion right before WrestleMania. I just saw the headline. I didn't see. Did any of you guys see that?
Never liked. I've seen it, but I'm not. I've never been a Michael Cole fan. I've never been. I just don't like his style. I just think he's a poor man's Tony Schiavone, and I like Tony Schiavone.
So
Travis, we got some people on Facebook that's writing something.
Travis Williams asked, "Hey guys, I don't watch as much as I used to, but is Drew McIntyre going to be somebody who's going to bring ratings as the champion Travis is not sold on Drew. He said he has his doubts about Drew being the guy. And I kind of agree, not because of Drew, but because of creative, how they could drop the ball with him. And really there's nobody, like, no star. There's no true star in the company who are they going to have go against them? Who's Seth? I mean,
Well, the interesting thing is right after he won the damn thing, the Big Show.
Great question, Travis. Thank you.
So I don't know if you guys saw that, but apparently he beat the Big Show in a match right after he won it.
Yeah, the next day.
Oh, was it the next day?
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought it was right after that.
So did I.
Thought he.
It was Monday Night Raw. It was Monday Night Raw. Big Show was promoting his Netflix TV show, his sitcom, The Big Show. And
so he was already dressed up to come out.
And he came out, and I guess he kind of talked smack on McIntyre. And McIntyre kind of was taking the high road, like, hey, I don't want to fight you. And then he kind of goaded him into fighting him, and he left him, he left him laying in the mat. But I don't know.
I don't know.
I think he's gonna.
I don't know where they go next. I really don't. They need a top heel.
I think he's going to carry it. I think he's going to have, out of the two male champions, I think he's going to have a long run.
Like we mentioned,
I wouldn't hate to see him and Reigns. I think him and Reigns at some point, maybe title, a title unification match down the road. As long as Reigns doesn't go over, I don't want Reigns to take it.
I want Drew to go over because I think Drew is so untapped potential.
They could build that for Mania next year. Yeah.
And he deservingly so when it goes and has it for a whole year and actually gets to wrestle in WrestleMania as the champion in front of a crowd.
Yeah. I mean, I think he's going to have a nice run. And to be honest with you, it's just there's nobody else.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put it on anybody else at this point. But that goes back to WWE not being able to make stars. So,
yeah.
And trust me, I'll get into that real soon too.
Thank you, Travis, for that question.
Thanks, Trav.
Yes, we appreciate that feedback. Let's go 2 quick matches, then we'll go into the high point of the show. What we thought our high point of the show was, and then we'll wrap it up with some headlines from the week that we saw. Let's go right into the Boneyard match. Now
I'm laughing because somebody wrote something when that went down, and I'm gonna say it too. And you know I am, Mav. Yeah.
Go ahead.
I feel like
I'll defend it.
I know.
I feel like the Boneyard match was, WWE's attempt at doing the final deletion. I don't think it translated.
It was that, and also, Todd, it was like I was watching a Wild Boar films because I've been in a couple of those movies, and the action was like that. I mean, it was like that. Like, yeah, it was like, oh my God! So you got a tractor out there, and
backhoe.
Not against Wild Boar Films, great company.
Abraham has a question, but we'll get to it after we talk about this Boneyard match. Abraham, I got you.
But Taker, this is the stuff that Taker is good at, though. This I liked it. I did. I think it was very entertaining.
I'm gonna let you guys go. I'll go last.
I did agree. I do agree with you, Bubba, 100%. It was entertaining.
Right.
I really would have liked to have seen them in a traditional wrestling match. But for what they were trying to do, I thought it was entertaining. But I just immediately thought of the final deletion, the Hardy Boys. I just didn't, I was just like, this isn't if it was the first time we saw something like that, maybe, but for what it was entertaining.
Well, and it also had, Todd, like they used the barn. They used I thought when he got hit over the head with the tombstone.
I heard he got injured, Undertaker.
Yeah, he did, from what I read, and I felt like I thought AJ was going to steal it.
Yeah,
and I was like, oh no, I'm going to lose, and I thought AJ was going to steal it, and then all of a sudden he just I mean, the cheesy part when he was in the grave, and all of a sudden he fucking magically
appears behind
like
him.
he's
Yeah,
Jack in a Box. Yeah, that was cheesy.
So Gary,
I enjoyed it.
Go ahead, Gary.
Well, since you asked, okay, listen.
He's ready for this.
It has nothing to do with the theatrical aspect of the match. Okay?
Yeah.
So I will say this, and I was talking to a buddy of mine. Okay?
I know what you're going to say.
And
I know.
Vince McMahon thought Matt Hardy was fucking crazy for doing this shit. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, and look what he did. He had 2 at his top event of the year. Okay? So I'm going to say that. Second, I don't even care the fact that The Undertaker didn't put AJ over. I wasn't even expecting that. I picked The Undertaker, right? But this is what pisses me off, okay? WWE has a major problem making stars. So why are you burying the ones you got, okay?
Right.
You had the OC, 3 members of the OC.
He
plus you
decimated all 3 of them.
10 Druids, okay? There's no way that 13 people should have not have been able to take down The Undertaker, especially his old ass at this point.
Right.
Okay?
It's like a Bruce Lee movie.
It's ridiculous. You completely just killed any momentum that the OC had, which they don't give them shit anyway.
Yeah, they've really booked them wrong. I mean, they should have been a modern day NWO and added members as time went on, and it's just they're like the job squad. Like they're just laying down for everybody left and right.
Because, gentlemen, they never made their name in the WWE. And anybody that's never made their name in the WWE
that club, bullet club kind of thing.
So AJ Styles is probably one of the best thing that they got, even though he's older at this point, and you're completely killing him.
Right.
It's the fact that
he puts on the best
even
matches.
Had a shine in that match. Like Undertaker dominated most of the match, probably 85% of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I don't think AJ or the OC, for that matter, gained anything from it. I thought the match. I didn't enjoy it at all, to be honest with you. Just for the simple fact that it killed it for me.
I knew you were going to say that.
That they buried. They completely shit all over the OC.
Yeah,
and that's what
when you look at it from that point of view. Yes, I can see your point of view. But if I'm just looking at it from like a casual fan's point of view. That's why I said in that interview on 31 More Days with Brian and Ed, I said, Gary's the brains. He took a really in-depth look where, we were just kind of looking at it as fans saying, hey, this was entertaining to us, Bubba and I. So,
right. It was like a cheesy Star Wars movie because I love. It was
Star
Wars,
like one of those like
flow.
theater house like B-reel horror movies. Mm-hmm. They could have probably made it a little more gritty. I would have been okay with that. Like, like having some film, mistakes.
So, like I said, I was talking to my buddy about this match. So he summed this up perfectly. Okay. So night 1, we basically got a John Wayne movie, and night 2, we got Freddy Krueger.
Okay, we're gonna get into the Freddy Krueger next. Before we do, Abraham Klein wants to know.
I knew it was Josh. I knew it was you.
Abraham Klein is watching live. He's host of the Yinzer Club right here on Idiot Radio. Abraham? He wants to know what do you think? What is next for Sami Zayn during his Intercontinental title run? I could see somebody in the faction turning on him. Maybe Cesaro, or I don't know. I think one of the 2 guys in the faction is next.
Classic example. WWE don't know what to do with any of those guys, so they throw them together. So here, let me just say this: that match was unique to me in regards to the fact that it was pretty one-sided. Daniel Bryan pretty much kicked the living shit out of Sami Zayn in that match, but I think that's what Sami Zayn wanted because he's really trying to get over as a heel at this point.
Yeah.
And it really put over Daniel Bryan, and it really put over Sami Zayn in regards to the fact that it made him look like a complete sissy. And
that's how he's going to portray himself as the IC champion anyway. Yep. So that'll work out in his benefit.
I definitely
know what
think
Sami Zayn can do. Sami Zayn is a phenomenal worker, and on a normal night, that match would have been amazing. You know what I mean? But I see what Sami Zayn, the match surprised me in that regard, but I see what Sami Zayn trying to do and get over as a heel, and I think he's doing a good job. So I commend both of the guys in the match. As far as what comes next for him, that's a good point. Somebody could turn on there.
Losing
I'm trying to think of who's a good mid.
Cesaro just doesn't fit in that trio. Cesaro, to me, it makes sense that it's Cesaro.
Well, his match was actually good. The opening match.
He had a good match.
That was good. Mm-hmm. I like that. Or Survivor Series. I don't know. By the time everything's all done, maybe Sammy will lose the title at Survivor. I'm going to go Survivor Series because we don't know what's going on in the real world. So I'm like going more in the fall. Hopefully everything is.
So visit our friend. I know we're still working on our website at Abraham Klein at Yinzer Club. We have a yinzerclub.com for it, but right now it's just the clothing. It's not set up for his website, but there is a Yinzer
right here. Triple B Experience app off of the store.
There is a Yinzer Club Facebook page, so follow him like that and check out Abraham's show. He brings a different perspective. He's interviewing people, so it's nice that he's showing support for his brother's shows. And thanks, feel free to call in if there's something you want to jump in on 412-407-SHOW. All right, now moving on to the next thing is the Firefly Funhouse match. But was it really a match? I felt like somebody slipped acid into my icy light while I was watching WrestleMania. Like I was like, what the hell did I just watch? Did you like it first and foremost?
I thought it was extremely creative, and I thought it entertained me because it made
which you never say when coming to those words never come out of our mouths. It was extremely creative.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we don't say that with WWE often. So I'm curious to who produced that or whose idea was that. See, I thought it was going to be more like a carnival-esque type match. Like it was going to be a match, but there was going to be gimmicky, like weird shit going on, like
hammers and like if the Joker was a wrestling promoter.
So
that's the idea
match?
I had in my head.
No.
You like that match better than the Taker match, but the Taker match actually had more maneuvers in it, and they actually did a little bit of wrestling where the Cena and Fiend match didn't do anything except for the end.
I didn't particularly enjoy either of them, okay? But where it differed for me was nobody got buried, okay? The right guy went over. I thought the Fiend should have went over. Cena did the right thing there. Did I care that AJ Styles didn't go over? No, not so much, but they buried the whole OC in the process. That's where I had the problem with it.
But they've been burying the OC since they come out.
Well, as far as the Funhouse, I thought that was more entertaining to me.
It just wasn't a wrestling match. It was
I had issues with that. But hell, that's what Cena's good at anymore. Movies, right? That's what they got.
No, he sucks.
But you know what was funny is Bray was more entertaining. Cena was like the facial expressions and all the. I mean, he just looked like an idiot. Like I don't know.
You know what he looked like? You know what Cena looked like when he did the facial expressions? When he was
like being sarcastic, like making fun of it.
No, I think he was he had sex in that Amy Schumer movie, and his facial expressions were the same as he did that, as the same as he did Sunday night. Like I just thought
so maybe his sex face and his surprise face are the same.
That was the match I wanted to see.
Yeah,
was that match. Now the Taker Styles match was entertaining in that way because Taker and Styles, whatever. Like Cena, I don't know if Cena could. I mean, he looks good, but he hasn't worked in a long time. And then Bray would have ran circles around him. But I know everybody loves John Cena. I'm so sorry. That's not coming from me.
I don't think
I've never been a Cena fan.
I don't think they should have had two similar movie style matches. I think they should have did one, not two. And I would have liked to have seen. I would have liked to have seen Cena and Bray at least wrestle a little bit.
Right.
And maybe put the video vignettes in between, like giving them rest or whatever. But
I don't care to see Cena wrestle ever again.
Yeah, see, I'm okay. I'm not one of those guys that completely hates Cena. I hate Reigns more than I hate Cena. And as far as in the ring, his outside of the ring stuff, I think
you guys are gonna, and a lot of people are probably gonna hate me for saying this, but I don't care to see the Undertaker wrestle again either. I just don't think. Listen, he's taking a spot.
They need to give him a send off
from somebody else, right? He's taking a spot from somebody else,
right?
And every time he comes around, he's not doing anything to put anybody else over or to groom anybody in that spot, and that's where I have issues with it.
I would have been better with Taker versus Fiend at WrestleMania. I think that would have been.
I would have been fine with AJ and the Undertaker technically at Mania inside a ring. And I think AJ would have made him look good, but if it was up to me, I wouldn't have the Undertaker booked at all anymore. But that's just me.
But
he's still one of the biggest draws in the company, even though he's only shows up once a year.
He's a part-timer.
Yeah,
he's a part-timer that can sell tickets. And the thing is, though, when he ends it, though, like I said before in the last show, I believe he's going to go for a title shot against the Fiend, and the Fiend shall beat him to make the Fiend more credible when he puts away Taker.
Okay, so
I'm okay with that too.
Let me ask you guys something.
In a match, not in a cinema type atmosphere, in an actual wrestling match.
I hope they don't overuse this now that they had like a semi-positive feedback.
Oh, everybody loved it. Everybody loved it. And like I said, my gripe wasn't with
I hated the Fiend
of it. Because if you look at their definition of sports entertainment, theatrics is right in there.
Yeah.
Okay. It wasn't even that. It was just the way that they did it and they went about it. 10-man can't beat the Undertaker.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Okay. So
maybe in his prime.
Yeah.
Maybe in his prime.
Still
no, guys. In his prime, they did beat him and they put him in the casket. Remember, and he skied off and Yokozuna and all that. He got his ass beat and he went to I don't know, the lightning bolt come down.
Yeah, I remember that. Yep.
So it's actually reversed where he didn't get his ass beat. He kicked everybody's ass when he got older.
Yeah.
Just saying.
So you're telling me when the Undertaker comes to town, okay, you two would buy tickets just to see the Undertaker?
Out of anybody else on the roster, he's probably
just in general. If he was the main event and you had a bunch of scrubs in the mid card, the Undertaker's enough to draw you in at this point.
I think so.
I would like to see him one more time.
Him and Austin
one more time.
Okay, yeah. Well, see, I'm done with him. I don't care. Like I don't care to see him.
I'm done with him.
I know.
Quarantine Gary is very crabby. Did you notice that, Bub?
What's that?
I said Quarantine Gary is very crabby. Have you noticed that?
A little bit.
You guys know
I've been laughing. I've been smiling and laughing this whole show, and Mav's like, oh, he's like gonna punch a hole through the wall.
No. You guys know me. I'm gonna be a realist about it, right?
I know.
So here's the thing. I have an Undertaker shirt. I like the Undertaker, but at this point in this stage in the game, I don't care to see him. I don't care to see him anymore. He's not doing anything
But Mav, if he wrestled one more time and let the Fiend pin him in the ring, would you be okay with that? When he gave it all to the Fiend and the Fiend beats him and retains his title, and goes out that way.
That should have been done a while ago.
I would like to see that.
Well, Travis on the Facebook chat kind of agrees with Bubba and I that he is a must see talent. Still.
Well, you guys. I mean, I understand that. I'm the minority here, right? And
Josh said every day Gary is crabby on the Facebook chat.
No, I just spell it the way it is. That's the problem.
No, you're honest. That's why I love you so much, because you're brutally honest too, and you tell people how it is. That's how you are.
So, yeah, you definitely put a different point of view on it than
you guys think. You guys think that Brock Lesnar is a big ticket draw too?
No,
I don't think so
I
either.
don't. Not anymore.
Well,
when he first came back, yes.
People still want to see him do that stuff, but they also want to see him get beat by the right guy.
Right, I agree.
Okay, because when he has the title, and they got Paul, doing the promos. I mean, he's a cocky prick. Okay, he thinks he's all that. So when someone actually beats him, and he's been beaten many, many times lately, so that his stigma is tarnished too.
Yeah,
because he gets beat all the time. but he's also.
I think they need to keep the belt off
attraction.
of him.
Yeah,
well, he's going to get a rematch with Drew.
Yeah,
he's going to get a rematch with Drew, and then that
when
match,
at SummerSlam,
out wrestle him, and beat his ass in the ring in front of people.
Right. I hope so.
Rematch. He's got.
I hope so.
I don't know. Like I said, I just one man's opinion over here, guys. Trust me, it means nothing. Trust. I'm sitting here with you.
It does.
One last piece.
I'm making the show interesting. We're giving
this is if we all had the same opinions and we all were like, haha, we love everything, then this wouldn't be entertaining. Yeah. This wouldn't be the best damn podcast in all of wrestling, brother.
Our own country.
But one last piece, and I know you guys will probably hate it. Since the Firefly Funhouse match, WWE's even gone to the extent of making John Cena promos for like Titantrons for the NWO with the NWO music and the black and white video and
I know where you're going. And so I have an answer for you.
If you could put together, just say 3 guys on the current roster to join Cena.
Oh God!
For the modern day NWO.
I think I said this in our group chat the other day, but I think it'd only be fitting if it was the other 2 members of 3MB joining Cena to replace McIntyre. So
that'd be funny.
That'll be your new NWO.
Yeah, that's just. I got nothing for Cena, and I would want to. He's so over the top with it. I'm just not a big. I remember the day when RVD beat him in ECW, and I fucking loved it. I still love it to this day. He's great. Cena's great for a military and for a Make-A-Wish, and God bless him on that.
Yeah.
But I do not like to have people force
Vinny
me
Church
to
loves him some John
TV
Cena.
Not doing it. I don't give a fuck who they are.
Yeah.
It makes me a bad guy too, Mav.
Sure.
I don't know. I think I would put Orton in the mix, and like a Samoa Joe maybe in that mix somewhere.
I don't know. I think I'm enjoying having Cena not around.
Yeah.
I don't know. Let's just chalk up the whole fact that why we have to keep seeing the same people over and over again is the fact that they can't make new stars.
Right. They really need to focus. They should be taking this opportunity right now during all the quarantine and no crowds and let some of these guys that need to make a name for themselves do it.
Well, the problem with that, Todd, is they don't know if these guys can get over because there's no crowd.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But they can manufacture it.
It's one of those things that it seems like, and whoever makes the decisions on who wins these matches is one thing, but why aren't these guys like The Undertaker giving back and trying to put over stars?
Right.
I mean, wrestling made them who they are. Let's start
at this stage of his career. Yeah, I agree.
Right. Let's pass the torch.
Do we agree that Taker should pass the torch to the Fiend? Do we all agree?
I agree.
I think they missed the boat on that.
I think they should never put the title on the Fiend.
Yeah, I don't think he.
And it would have made more sense to have him and Taker go against each other at some point.
Yeah.
He's very entertaining. Bray is very entertaining. Bray Wyatt.
The whole thing is with him without the title is, it's back the Funhouse thing and all that's back to being entertaining. When he had the title, it was nothing to really.
And when
to promote that Funhouse, it wasn't entertaining when he had the belt.
We all agree that he should have never had the belt,
right?
But not only did he have the belt, but you made him lose it to Goldberg,
right? In seconds, they couldn't even get jackhammered.
You were killing these guys,
right?
You're not even giving them a chance.
I did like the Vince McMahon doll saying, he swore. I thought that was funny.
Yeah. See, I thought as a promo, it was hilarious. I thought it was freaking hilarious. As a match, I can't even call it a match.
Yeah, it's not a match. I wouldn't call it a match.
Yeah.
No.
We're getting ready to talk about our what we thought the high point of WrestleMania was. 412-407 show. If you want to join in, call us live, and we'll talk to you on the air. You can also do it in the Facebook or text us on our phone line, 412-407 show. High point of WrestleMania. What did you think was the high point of the whole weekend? I'm gonna say for me it was the for entertainment value. I'd say the Taker match, but I think as far as a wrestling match goes, the Ripley Charlotte match probably would be the high point for me as far as a wrestling match goes. It was nice to see Drew win too, even though it was such a shitty match.
For me, I liked Rhea and Charlotte. I thought that was a really good match, probably the best match for me. And of course, anytime that Brock Lesnar loses, I'm all about that.
Yeah.
But I just thought the match was hot garbage. But yeah, I don't know. It's let's put it this way: it wasn't my favorite WrestleMania, but like I said, I commend them for continuing and doing.
What do you think, Bob? High point of the night?
The best they could.
The high point, guys, is just getting it done. That was probably the most stressful. Probably trying to do all that stuff,
overcoming everything.
Didn't know what was going on. Yeah, so I mean, and I agree with you guys on the same matches, the Flair Ripley match, and then Drew winning the title. I just feel like but to me, it feels like I got used and abused because the payoff wasn't there for me. So all that work that we've seen going up and leading to that, the payoff wasn't there, and they all put. I think they put in 85%, maybe. It wasn't like 100%.
Yeah.
And it's very hard to do all that stuff when there's no crowd and, feeling the energy of the whole arena. So hopefully this never, ever happens again to me, because Drew, I mean, I watched that documentary. I mean, and he was over in Scotland doing stuff, and he got the call and he had to come back to the U.S. And then they posted some stuff, and he was like, look, it was my time. But you know what, though? If anybody watches that, has a WWE, goes and watches that and sees his speech, like, because they did a little thing with him, and he was like, look, he's like, I know it's going to happen. He goes, it's very hard for me, but you know what? I'm going to win it for everybody. It's everybody's moment, just not my moment. So I thought to me, that was a little bit on that documentary. I just wish he would have got a bigger payoff. Hopefully he stays champion for a while, and he gets pushed and he gets cemented in with some good talent to go against him. But just doing that show and just being the only entertainment in the last month that's been it. It wasn't for All Elite Wrestling and WWE. So that was the big thing for me, actually pulling it off, because I didn't know if they were going to.
Yeah. They definitely, pulled it off, and they had a lot of hoops to jump through, and they worked around the system the best they could, and they gave us an entertaining weekend. We're talking about it a week later, so we're complained about it or whatever, but it was still something that was great. Travis had a good point on the Facebook chat. He said every champion is only as good as his protagonist. And he says there really isn't any great rivals right now, and that's probably part of why there is no stars right now.
Part of that, you got to have guys that are willing to put in the work.
Yeah.
When you have your top heel as Brock Lesnar, who is also your champion, who decides when he wants to show up, as far as not only a part-time schedule, but I'm talking about in the ring as well. Like when he wants to, he can put on a good match.
Yeah.
He just doesn't want to and feels he doesn't have to at this point. So if these are the guys you're putting Drew in the ring with, Drew's not going to shine at all. What I mean? He's not going to get a chance to get over.
Right.
So, you need to find a way to make stars, and they're not willing to do that. They have a roster right now that just doesn't want to either work or put anybody over.
Right.
So.
Or they're sitting on the sidelines, not getting the opportunity.
There's a lot of people on the sidelines,
like Bobby Roode.
Right.
Yeah.
All right,
Rube
so
was probably one of the druids.
let's wrap up with headlines from the week. The biggest headline came out today. The Revival was officially released from WWE. I think everybody got what they wanted.
Good for them.
There.
Now they can actually have a career. Now they can go elsewhere. I guarantee they're AEW or New Japan, if not both.
You think maybe they'll do a New Japan run first and then come?
I think they should. I think they're going to be the most over tag team. And the thing of it is, AEW has a really good tag team division.
Yeah.
I'd love to see them there. You know what I mean? But I'd like to see them over in New Japan too. I think those guys are hard workers, and I don't know. I don't even know where they went wrong, to be honest with you.
They didn't go wrong. It was creative once again. Everything that they fuck up a one-car funeral every time. NXT, everybody except for now Drew, since he's the title holder.
Yeah,
that's what it is. Everything, like the War Raiders, the Revival, just everything.
Yeah.
And realistically, and even in NXT, they're ruining. Like now, the Undisputed is getting their asses beat everywhere. So when's Undisputed fucking come up to the main roster, and then they'll fuck that up too.
Yeah, so I think they'll break them up before they move them up. I don't think they're moving them up as a package.
They can't work good without them. They need all of them. They need all four.
Gary, did I miss any of the headlines this week? We touched on the Ripley headline.
Yeah, I think those were the two.
Nia Jax made a return on Raw.
Oh, right.
Why?
Yeah, right.
She didn't wrestle. I think she wrestled somebody from really early in their NXT. I don't think she wrestled.
One of the NXT girls.
Yeah.
That's what they have. They have a lot of NXT talent for the Raw and stuff.
And
they're always doing Street Profits against that Austin Theory kid in 1 week got to wrestle in WrestleMania, WrestleMania. I mean, my God, that's the quickest thing,
what's funny is last show we were talking about how Theory was the one that blew the spot with Ford landing on the ramp.
Right.
And actually, I later found out it was Seth that blew the spot. He was never supposed to fly over the ropes. Seth was supposed to trip into him before he flew over the ropes. So Seth was the one that blew the spot and caused the possible injury. So that was interesting. And he was wrestling on Monday Night Raw, so he wasn't that bad. So
he looks good to me.
Rollins is kind of known for
hurting people,
brain farts in the ring.
Look what he did to Sting.
Yeah,
Sting
and the Balor.
But also, we talk about WrestleMania, but always the night after WrestleMania.
I was just going to get.
It's always supposed to be the best Raw of the year. Yeah,
and they even promoted
it was pretty uneventful. I mean, I think I commented on it at some point
Nia Jax
on our page.
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you two a question. How does Nia Jax look so hot when she's not wrestling, but when she fucking gets in those fucking plastic bags, her attire, they make her look so.
It's the most unflattering outfit. You're right.
She is a super.
She uses filters.
Like she's a big size plus size model. Hey ladies, I don't care. That looks good, but Nia Jax is very attractive, and they put her in a fucking.
She can be.
Bag
she can be, and the ring attire they have her in.
Terrible.
Is not flattering, and two, it also exposes how small some of those girls are, because Jax might not be that big in person, but you see her next to this girl who's 90 pounds, Alexa Bliss or something, and she looks like a giant, And meanwhile, if you've seen her in the club or somewhere, you may hit on her. Because
I thought I read somewhere or saw, actually, it might have been on Total Divas or something at one point.
But that's a great show.
Nia Jax is very insecure about her body.
Yeah.
Because she used to be a plus size model, but she was thinner, and so that's why she chooses to wear that attire.
But speaking of Alexa Bliss, now that tag match. Like the Kabuki Warriors, I'm not a Nikki Cross. That tag match, I knew I was going to lose, but still, I hopefully they do something with Asuka. Asuka's very strong.
She needs to be on her own.
They ruin her too. Yeah.
Now, Josh,
Well, both of them need to
Josh
go, right?
has a question on the Facebook chat. He said it's funny Edge put Dash Wilder over huge in the WWE 24 documentary. He's trying to get out of the company for the past 2 years. What do you guys think of Nia Jax trying to be a big dog killer cross on Twitter? Killer Cross on Twitter? I don't know.
Killer Cross was the TNA guy that they signed, and he's doing these vignettes down in NXT, and I seen him wrestle, and I think his girlfriend was Scarlet Boudreaux or something, blonde, hot chick.
Yeah.
The wife or girlfriend. I'm not a big Killer Cross fan, and I think he's talking about Nia Jax, like talking schmack.
Big dog killer.
People hurting Alexa Bliss, but Nia Jax actually hurt a lot of people and gave Becky a concussion. And I read that today.
Yeah, I think Jax was saying that somebody hurt somebody, and she didn't say who it was, and it was kind of like leading up that it was Ronda that hurt somebody or something. But like you said, Bub,
right.
Jax did the same thing. She hurt people in the ring. I don't know. I don't have any more headline. I can't think of any more major headline. The Ripley headline we touched.
What Josh is saying with that Edge documentary, I saw that too, and that's actually a very good documentary. Yeah. And actually, the WWE bought Edge a ring to have at his house, and then had Dash come over and trained him to get back into it.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
So,
yeah, Dash was a part of that. He was one of the few people that knew
that Edge was coming.
I guess, yeah. So I guess like Triple H and Vince knew, and then of course Beth Phoenix, and then they let Wilder come in because he was training and he was only working Beth, and they were saying in the documentary that there's only so much she could do with him.
Yeah.
They can only go so far, so they had to bring somebody else in, and it was Dash Wilder, which apparently they were pretty good friends.
Yeah.
And now he wants to split from the company, but I can't blame him.
I think a lot of people are doing that because they see the opportunities in AEW.
Yeah. Well, they can make huge money over in New Japan.
Let's wrap on this for headlines. And then once the quarantine stuff's over, we'll go back into Bub's promotion of the show. Brody Lee, he doesn't seem to be letting up on Vince. It seems like he's doing a shoot interview on Vince every week. It seems. Do you think like
his promos are great?
The blood is that bad there? Like, I mean, what do you think about that? That he's taking stabs at Vince every show. I mean, I guess it's deserved. I mean, because you could see all the potential you didn't see, like all the stuff that WWE didn't let you see, you're seeing in AEW.
Well, I know firsthand what kind of guy Brody Lee is. Okay, and I know what he can do in the ring. He's a phenomenal talent, but once again, he doesn't fall into WWE's mold.
Right.
And they try to deny that they even have a mold at this point. And let's put it this way. They've gotten significantly smaller guys and guys that are different shapes, like Kevin Owens, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah, he looks like me.
In Vince's head, he loves big guys. He loves big guys.
Yeah.
Yes. So, and Brody Lee is not the kind of – he doesn't have the look. He has the look for Vince if he's okay in the Wyatt family.
Yeah.
But he does not care to have Brody Lee be anything more than he is, even though the guy is a phenomenal worker.
Right.
Okay.
He's obviously good on the mic, too.
Yep. And so he's always going to be underneath that.
I didn't even know he could talk until he
his promos are great.
Switched.
I mean, all Elite's they're being more creative in a time where you have to be creative due to the situation that's going on. But when he burns bridges, when he talks schmack on Vince, a lot of big names talk schmack on Vince, but Vince brings them back. Guys that aren't as big as the Hogans and the Pipers and this and that, he just, you know what I mean? Like Vince won't bring, but you never try to burn your bridges in pro wrestling because you can never say never. You can never say never in this business. You know?
No, right.
You can't.
But
Abraham had a good question on the Facebook. He said, it's interesting that we mentioned that WWE got Edge a ring. Why does it seem like some people talk of WWE as helping them above and beyond expectation, and others claim WWE basically forgets them? What do you think is the difference? I just think it's, how Vince feels about you, the upper echelon of WWE, how they feel about you. If you're in, you're in. If you're not.
And Edge is proven and a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
He's proven, and Vince
he'll put asses in the seats.
Talent.
The roster's too big for Vince to get to know and like everybody.
Right.
So I'll defend Vince in that instinct. But do you guys ever notice that, like, even when guys lose in AEW, they're not getting completely jobbed out the way the WWE does?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, their roster is strong and it's solid because they're never intentionally making people
They're
look
building.
bad.
They're trying to build stars. Guys, a year from now that we're there in the beginning, they're going to be big stars.
Yes.
I personally believe, you guys, that All Elite in less than a year is actually, you got WWE and the hierarchy, WWE, then you got All Elite, and then you got Ring of Honor, and then TNA are maybe tied in the same. But All Elite has come so quickly, so fast.
Right.
If they get some new talent and they get a couple people after WWE WrestleMania releases, and they get Revival, they get somebody else, and if they get a couple of proven female wrestlers, because right now, to me, female wrestling is not as hot as it was a year ago.
Yeah, and WWE, everything that they did right, now they're doing it wrong, and they have 3-4 talented females, and that's it. And the rest of them are.
Yeah, the problem is they go back to the same 5 females all the time.
Right.
Like, let Lacey Evans break through, let Bianca Belair break through, let Rhea Ripley get into there. Let them get into there and work with the older talent. But you got to be able to, and if you're not going to put them over, you at least got to make them look good.
Yeah.
You got to make them look good and losing, and that's
well,
where.
And he pushed Mandy Rose, and he pushed the other one. Like Mandy's hot her up to par because she's eye candy. She can talk.
They didn't give the fans what they wanted with Rose, though. Rose was the one they were hinting around that she was going to be part of the Funhouse, right?
No, that was Liv Morgan.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Morgan, okay. Now, see, they didn't get. Where is she? Like,
she's
they didn't.
That good.
No, she's not that good. But that is somebody they're kind of pushing a little bit.
But they could have put her in that position.
Yeah, I agree.
In that Funhouse, they should have gave the fans what they wanted.
They had her beat Natty in the pre-show at WrestleMania, and then on Monday night they had her go over again. How did she work? No, she jobbed Asuka, but it was a very good match. She looked good. I mean, Asuka made Liv Morgan look pretty damn good.
Yeah,
and that's what I'm talking about, guys. Like, you don't necessarily have to put them all over, but you at least got to make them look good.
You got to build them up so when they get in the ring with the big stars that they're represented properly.
Well, when you're dancing, you want to dance good. You just can't take you can't take your dance partner and run the dance. It's got to be a two-way tango.
Yeah.
Right. Well, if you keep burying the people that you're trying to dance with, you're not going to have anybody to dance with.
And I don't think they have anybody to dance with right now, and they need to revamp a little bit of stuff.
Yeah,
they need to revamp
everything that they did right with the women is all gone. They've let it all go.
They ruined that right now for me, and they also ruined the tag team division because they were getting a little bit better.
Yeah,
and then they just pissed it away.
Yep.
Man, we're getting a lot of great feedback. I was ready to cut the show, and Josh just stepped in and said,
"Well, Josh knows his wrestling too."
Yep.
Do you guys think WWE suffers from not having a guy like Jericho, who is a main eventer, who is willing to put over younger talent? Absolutely, Josh. Yeah.
Yep.
Yes, because he's selfless, and but I'm glad he's with AEW. Let's put it that way. He's with the good guys. So
yeah,
I'm okay.
Well, I haven't seen it yet. This week he was doing color. with Shivani, and I thought he was.
It was good.
4 stars.
And his talk is Jericho right now during the quarantine has been pretty awesome too. I think he has Kevin Smith on.
Yes, he does
this weekend.
But Kenny Omega was phenomenal the other day doing color commentary, and then Jericho was great also this past week. So it was Jericho's. He's money.
Yeah,
he is.
Yeah, well, I agree.
I think this is a good place to wrap. We're about an hour and a half in. We had a lot of great feedback today. I knew today was going to be a great show for the audience participating. We thank Ty Mack for the call.
That's awesome.
We got to get Ty Mack a T-shirt for being our first ever live phone call.
Yeah, and we got a lot of texts today, Josh, and
all the feedback on Facebook. We'd like if you call, like we call. Don't be bashful. 412-407-SHOW. We'll talk to you on the air live, in the future. And it seems like these guys have a lot. You guys know them. They have a lot of great, input onto what we're talking about. So,
for sure.
Well, this is actually good. This is actually good because these video stuff can actually. This is like the small show. These are the house shows.
These are like the Raws.
Go to the studio,
and then the studio show be the pay-per-view.
The studio's the pay-per-view shows.
But
for sure.
Yeah, well, I think this is going to wrap it up. Guys, enjoy your Easter. Everybody listening, enjoy your Easter, and hopefully we're out of this.
Stay safe, everybody.
Sooner.
Wash your goddamn hands, people.
Wear a mask. I bought a mask. I almost ordered Idiot Radio masks. 12 of them with the Idiot Radio logo on them. 12 of them for $50 at Buffalo, New York, and if I didn't order these other ones for work, I would have got them. I ordered ones that look like skull teeth for work, and I was like, man, if I wouldn't have dumped money in on those ones, I was like, I probably would have. I should have bought the Idiot Radio ones, and I would have got you guys. Send them to you guys.
I wear a mask every day. I get a mask before I go in my building every day, and I wanted to get. I was going to wanted to wear my Russian destroyer mask to work, but I don't think the Commonwealth would actually.
Yeah, it's not
love that.
It's not work friendly.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
but well, everybody, thank you for tuning in. It's the Triple B Double D Heavyweight Podcast. I think now that we have this option, and it seemed like it went off without a hitch on the Facebook and everything.
Except for my part.
Well, that was before the show. We got it working at Showtime. The professionals that we are.
I could take a laptop and smack it over somebody's head, but do you think I can actually program it to get it to do what I got to do?
Yeah.
That's the thing. Crazy.
So everybody enjoy your Easter, and I think we'll do this more often, at least especially during the quarantine. We could try to get together once a week or whatever. I don't know.
House shows.
We're talking about how much we could talk, but that's the thing about wrestling too. Like, we don't have to go with what's going on right now. We could get into like classics and all time lists, and so there's a lot of territory we could cover without going on current wrestling. So and if there's any suggestions, please email us idiotradionet@gmail.com or text.
I think I have a suggestion. I think we need a Idiot Radio quarantine in your house shirt.
Okay.
Like the old in your house logo, like for WWE.
Oh yeah.
One of those. Yeah.
That may be in the
Idiot Radio quarantine.
That may be in the store this week. We'll see.
There you go.
All right, well, that's going to do it for us. Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you.
If you guys want to hang in the room, I'll just clear everything out, and we can, do like a post-show wrap-up. Everyone, thanks for listening. It's Triple B Double D Heavyweight Podcast right here on Idiot Radio. Thank you for listening.